On the dais and ladies and gentlemen here. I think I'll not take too much of a time. Like the last speaker has already reiterated, I will not stand in between your lunch, and I'll make it very quick. And also maybe I think most of the points which I had in my mind have already been repeated and have been told and explained through the day. So I will not reinforce and reiterate whatever has been said, but I will just give you a few facts and examples more from the aspect of employability, because I would like to maybe bring in those facts which we look, I guess the whole gap starts from the aspect at which we look at. I mean, faculty or the institution is looking at satisfying the learning needs. It is looking towards development. It is looking towards the rest of the things in terms of higher education, or targeting and looking towards directing the students towards jobs. Whereas let's look at it, industry is looking purely towards profitability, cost, efficiency. So when a person comes in, it is the learnability that I'm looking at a person. So problem solving ability, like what Dr. Reddy had said, is of paramount importance for us. So how do we judge it? We look at the concepts that the kids have learned. We go back to a student. I still remember the first of the interviews through which I had sat through when I started my corporate journey. It was a very simple question in infrastructure space, in fact, and the question was, what kind of sand do you use? Do you use the sand from the riverbed, or do you use the seaside sand? And this was the main question, and in fact the inaugural question that the panel used to ask for every student who had come in from civil engineering. So I was kind of amused, because I thought that is a basic thing that every person would know. And like after the first two questions, I was actually looking at the panel and thinking, are they doing the right job, or should they think of something else? Then I realized that the first 10 students who came in gave 10 different answers on why what sand should be used. So it was never a comprehensive answer that any student has given to the panel. And finally, it is the 2 or 3 people who reached it to the nearest comprehensive answer were selected. And at the end of it, the panel said the same thing. I want to know if the person knows the concepts. I know if he's been able to learn the concepts, tomorrow he can learn whatever I have taught him, or I would be able to teach him. Otherwise, I know that the person will only be sitting through even my training sessions. I would be spending money, but at the end of it, there would be no outcome. And I will have to rethink and retrain him again into something else. The second biggest aspect of focus has to be soft skills. I know we have been reiterating it from morning, but somewhere I still feel that communication has to become very, very strong amongst all the students. When I say about communications, let's be very frank, I think English has become the medium of communication from all of us, at any level, be it in any kind of setup. I will not even limit myself to IT or ITES sector, but I think even other than the ITES sectors, in most of the other places, we have started moving towards English as a medium of communication. I am not talking about the blue-collar workforce, but when I look towards the rest, I think we have moved towards it. So when we go towards most of the places, and when we look towards employability of the students, we are also looking towards somebody who is able to communicate adequately their thoughts, their ideas. So many a times a very abstract question is asked, what is it that you are planning to do in your life? The question is asked not only to understand the student's dreams or aspirations, but also to understand how the student is able to articulate them. How is he able to communicate back to us as to what is his future, what does he want to do? Now, if a person is not able to communicate on what his future is going to be to us, then we will never be able to understand him if he is not able to do a good justice on the job when he is going to come inside. So these are a few aspects which I think even the institution has to start focusing towards. Unfortunately, a few of these things cannot happen overnight. I do understand that many of these things have, even when I look at the engineering colleges, I know that it's a mix of people who come from different kind of medium of language itself. I know that even in Andhra Pradesh, we have a lot of Telugu medium students who graduate and then they come into engineering, move towards English medium. But at the end of it, employability has to be there. So that is a question that we have to deal with. I do agree that these are the constraints. Then maybe we will have to look towards some solution of starting a soft skills training at the first year, or because the solution at the end of the fourth year is the person has to be employed. And coming back from the industry perspective, let me tell you, there is an acute skill shortage. From the morning, each of the speakers has spoken about the same. Each of this person has never said that I'm very happy with the kind of skill that is available in the market, or each of the person has said that I'm adequately staffed and I'm happy. If you notice, everyone has been saying that we need people. And each of the person from the aspect of industry also is emphasizing on the force that we are available, please reach out, we are ready to help. And I think the things have changed in some ways. Industry also has realized that they have to backward integrate into the colleges, and they have to start looking at these things. But then there has to be a platform. So all of you also have to reach out to the industry and start looking at things. Like Mr. Bipin was saying, I think it is the time when an unconditional movement has to be made. Not that you have to employ our students, but also from the aspect of training the students, exposing the students to other things, exposing the students to the various avenues that are available, that would really help them in looking towards a holistic aspect. So that's it from my end. I don't want to reiterate on too many points. If there's anything, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much.